Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of ezBUCKETz. How y'all doing today? In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the possible futures for Chris Paul. Recently, Chris Paul posted a video of him saying thank you to OKC for the opportunity, the season, and just how well OKC embraced him. But after I watched that video, I kind of felt like he was saying goodbye. The body language, the attitude, he was definitely thankful, but it just didn't speak, we're gonna go back next year. I just felt like Chris Paul was telling OKC that he wants to move on and get a better opportunity at a championship. And I know a lot of people out there are thinking the same thing. When talking about Chris Paul's contract, he basically only has one more year left of about $41 million, and next summer, he'll have a player option, and it's up to him whether he's gonna opt in or opt out of that. And if Chris Paul is going to request a trade with OKC, OKC is gonna make some big moves. Last year, they traded Paul George for a bunch of draft picks, Danilo Gallinari, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and they also traded Westbrook for Chris Paul. It was recently reported that OKC will go on a full rebuild mode if they decide to trade Chris Paul, which means trading also Gallinari, Steven Adams, and Dennis Schroeder. I'll be honest, OKC making it to the playoffs this year, taking Houston to Game 7, was spectacular. It was amazing. It is something none of us predicted. But I've got some bad news for OKC fans. That will probably come to an end because Chris Paul is on the way out, and it's probably on the more likely side. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the possible teams that I believe OKC should trade Chris Paul to if he requests a trade. He's been linked to multiple teams, and of course, I know you guys want him on a specific team, but in this video, we're going to talk about multiple scenarios. So if you're a big Chris Paul fan and want the best for him, this video is perfect for you. But before I get into the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and love basketball, welcome to ezBUCKETz. My name is Soom, and I make basketball videos every single day, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. After watching this video, if you like the video, sing on that thumbs up button. That's a little Naruto reference for you guys. If you like that reference, smash that thumbs up button. But before we continue on with the video, I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for all the support you've been giving me. We are almost at 40,000 subscribers, guys. 40K. That's amazing to me. I love you guys, and let's just keep growing together. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about Chris Paul and the possible trade scenarios and rumors about him. Chris Paul was an absolute monster this season. I want to throw some statistics at you guys to try to explain how well he's played this season and why this season was the best season he's had ever since being on the Los Angeles Clippers. We're talking about his regular season stats. He averaged 17.6 points per game, 5.0 rebounds, 6.7 assists, shooting 50% for his field goal percentage. He had a stat line of true shooting of 61%, shot 55% when going for a 2-point bucket, and shot 85.2% when attacking the rim. This was the best he's ever done ever since the Los Angeles Clipper days in 2016, where it was only 70.6%. He also shot a career high of 90% at the free throw line, and when looking at his playoff stats, it just elevated. He averaged 21.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.6 steals per game, shooting 50%. Chris Paul this year has been proven to be one of the most clutchest players in the NBA, even at the age of 35. So even though he's turning 36 next May, there are 5 teams that still want Chris Paul and are being linked to him. Although Chris Paul is getting old and will probably retire soon, the impact that he will make on any NBA team is tremendous, and whatever team that gets him in this offseason would definitely be beneficial to their franchise. The first team on this list is Chris Paul going to the Los Angeles Lakers, and this is a fan favorite option. We all know about the relationship between Chris Paul and LeBron. Those guys are boys, and when talking about what the Lakers need, they need a ball-dominated guard that can control the rock when LeBron doesn't have it. Both LeBron and Chris Paul are in the aging parts of their career, but they're still one of the best players in the NBA when it comes to playoff moments and making the right decision. A big three of Chris Paul, LeBron and Anthony Davis would run wild in the Western Conference and would give the Lakers some backup needed, because when watching the Lakers right now, they do need that third option. In this trade package, the Lakers can offer OKC Danny Green, who's getting paid $15 million, Kyle Kuzma, KCP with an $8 million contract, Alex Caruso, and their 2020 first round pick, and I believe the Thunder would accept that. The Lakers can then sign some cheap minimum veteran deals in free agency to fill out that starting lineup, and they would also still have some key pieces of Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and Rajon Rondo on their roster. In my personal opinion, Chris Paul to the Los Angeles Lakers is the best case scenario for Chris Paul, because I believe the Lakers are in full championship mode this year and also next year in LeBron's final year of his contract. The next team on this list is Chris Paul joining the Milwaukee Bucks, joining Giannis. As I make this video, the Miami Heat are about and most likely going to beat the Bucks and eliminate them from the playoffs in only the semifinals. It is super crazy that the best team in the NBA with the best record is being eliminated so early in the playoffs, and we all just see it. The Bucks need a veteran player, a player that can control the rock, take clutch shots, make the right plays in the most important time, and that is the perfect description for Chris Paul. There's been multiple rumors that the Bucks do not want Eric Bledsoe no more, and that's why Chris Paul has been linked to the Bucks. They want a better point guard, and Chris Paul fits that profile. This trade offer would be the Bucks offering Eric Bledsoe, George Hill, Ersan Ilyasova, young guard of Dante DiVincenzo, and 2 future first-round picks for Chris Paul. This will leave the Bucks with their main core of Giannis, Middleton, and Brook Lopez, and still adding a veteran point guard of Chris Paul. That team would instantly be a championship contender in the Eastern Conference, going up against Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and I'll say this team would edge them out. Chris Paul to the Bucks is highly likely as well, so keep this scenario in mind for you guys. The third team on this list is Chris Paul going to the Philadelphia 76ers, joining Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. The 76ers have been linked to Chris Paul because they're going to be doing some big moves this upcoming offseason, while Chris Paul is going to be one of the biggest trade targets available for any team. The Sixers got swept this year to the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs, and from the looks of it, they need to make a few moves to make their team better and get some veteran leadership. Adding Chris Paul would give some maturity to the young players of Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, and of course Joel Embiid, and would embrace their culture and make them, elevate them into a better opportunity and possibly the team we all thought they could be going into this season. The Sixers can offer up Al Horford, who has been a bad fit for the 76ers, Zaire Smith, their 2020 first round pick, and their 2022 first round pick. I believe that should be enough to land Chris Paul, maybe add another piece in there. I personally don't like Chris Paul on the 76ers because they already have Ben Simmons there, but he's been linked there for multiple reasons. The fourth team on this list is Chris Paul going to the New York Knicks. When talking about an NBA superstar going to a team, the Knicks are always in the conversation, but somehow they're always a team that ends up getting nothing. The reason why Chris Paul has been linked to the New York Knicks is because Chris Paul has proven this year that he can turn a franchise around when he is the main player. And we're talking about the Knicks organization. They need that type of caliber player to turn their organization and franchise around. And if Chris Paul can go there, he might be a big factor. If the Knicks can offer up Julius Randle, Alfred Payton, Dennis Smith Jr., but somehow keep their first pick this year, I believe that should be enough to land Chris Paul. OKC will be getting 2 guards in return and a dominant power forward to fill their roster. I personally don't like seeing Chris Paul going to the Knicks. I would prefer him going to the Lakers, but this is a big possibility as well because the Knicks do have a lot of cap space to re-sign Chris Paul and give him the most money possible if money is what he's looking for. And the last team on this list is Chris Paul going to the Phoenix Suns and joining Devin Booker. The Suns have been a crazy story this year, especially during the NBA bubble. They were the only team to go 8-0, and that just speaks volume of how well they could be going into next year. Imagine adding a veteran all-star superstar point guard of Chris Paul alongside DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker. If they can go 8-0 in the bubble, imagine what they can do in the regular season. A trade offer of Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre Jr., their 2020 first-round pick could land Chris Paul. Of course, you Suns fans out there might not want to trade Kelly Oubre, but this year the Suns were 8-0 without Kelly Oubre. They had Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges step up, and from the looks of it, those two fit the starting lineup really well. Their ultimate lineup, if this trade would go through, would be CP3 point guard, Devin Booker shooting guard, Cam Johnson small forward, Mikal Bridges power forward, DeAndre Ayton at center. I believe this team could potentially make a big playoff push next year. But yeah guys, this wraps up my video today on Chris Paul and the 5 possible trade destinations for him. In conclusion, the teams are the Los Angeles Lakers, the Bucks, the 76ers, the Knicks, and the Phoenix Suns. But guys, just keep this in mind. I see Chris Paul being traded away a very likely thing, and for you OKC fans out there, you guys gotta be ready for that. But yeah, other than that guys, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!
I got angels flying.